Remember, a few months back, the entire world was talking about a major scientific breakthrough, nuclear fusion energy. Now, it is just possible that another major scientific breakthrough may have happened, which is of even much bigger import than nuclear fusion energy. The words, please mark my words very clearly, it may have happened. If this is confirmed, it has the potential not only to get those people who are involved Nobel Prize for physics, but also it has the potential to revolutionize our entire power transmission systems. And this is all about superconductivity. In this video, we are going to talk about a new material, a new superconducting material developed by a group of Korean scientists, which they have called LK-99. When you transmit electricity across a wire, across a cable, the flow of current experiences an opposing force, which is called resistance. Because of this resistance, a part of the energy gets converted to heat. Wastefully converted to heat gets lost. This is what we all know as transmission and distribution losses. A superconducting material is one such material in which if you pass electricity, there is no resistance at all. The current will simply zip through the wire. Now, it is not easy to make superconducting materials because good conductors of electricity such as copper, aluminum attain superconducting properties at extremely low temperatures. Copper, for example, becomes superconducting at a temperature that is very close to absolute zero, which is minus 273 degrees Celsius. It's almost impossible to keep a long cable that runs kilometers across, to keep that cable cooled at such levels. And that is why, although this phenomenon called superconductivity has been known to mankind for about 100 years, well over a century, 110 years, we have not been able to make use of this property because these materials have to be cooled to such low temperatures. Three Korean scientists, Suk-bae Lee and Ji-hoon Kim and Yong-won Kwon of the Korea University, Seoul, said in a scientific paper that they produced that they had developed an alloy of lead and copper. It's called lead apatite. They said this new alloy could be superconducting not at such low temperatures but at room temperatures. Now, scientists for a very long time, for well over half a century, have been trying to raise the temperature, not so low as copper would require, but something very cold but still manageable. So that became called high temperature superconductivity. Now, high temperature is not very hot. High temperature means not so cold. Superconductivity at room temperature has been the holy grail of the scientific world for a very, very long time. This announcement made the entire scientific world sit up in disbelief. Is this really possible? By the way, these scientists called the new material LK-99. Now, LK-99 is something you probably will hear very often in the coming days because the world is talking about LK-99. What is LK-99? L stands for Lee, K for Kim, two of the 3-4 scientists who developed this material. This material, they said, they made experiments in their laboratory and found it was superconducting, and that too at ambient pressure. And that is a very, 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 very big, major breakthrough if found to be true. I am not for a moment suggesting that the scientists are lying. It is only that sometimes scientists achieve some success in a laboratory, but how science works is, if a scientist makes an experiment and shows some results, that experiment should be replicable by other scientists. Other scientists should also be able to do same experiment and come up with the same result. Only then does it get validated. Now, that process is still going on. Until such time, we cannot say for sure that this is a scientific discovery, but by the looks of it, it is. If the issue of superconductivity at room temperature, has it been really cracked? Because at least two other groups of scientists have tried to do exactly the same experiment and they have not got these results. Which are these two groups of scientists? One is a group led by Dr. Veerpal Avanna of the National Physical Laboratory, New Delhi. Dr. Veer Avanna made LK-99 and tried his lab. He didn't get superconductivity. Likewise, another group of scientists in China also made this alloy, tried that experiment and did get. So does it mean that the experiment is failed? Again, no. It only means that, well, the Koreans got something, the others couldn't. So where does the problem lie? It is possible that in the making of this alloy, there may have been some differences between the way the Koreans did it and the way Indians and Chinese did it. So if you get that right, you might still get the superconductivity right. And by the way, Dr. Veer Avanna is very hopeful, very confident that there is something in it. There is really some stuff, some good stuff in LK-99. Although he did not get the results, he is saying, in fact, he told me that it is a very, very promising material and it could really mean a breakthrough. It only requires a little bit of tweaking. Dr. Deepshika Jaiswal Nagar, who is a professor at the Indian Institute of Science Education and Research, IISER, Trivandrum. She says there are two sites in lead that copper could plug itself into, site 1 and site 2. It seems that the Koreans, from the way they made this alloy, the copper sat at site 1 and it worked. Whereas Indians and Chinese, the copper sat at site 2 and for some reason it did not work. It only means that it requires a little bit of tweaking, a little more work here. And by the way, such work is happening. Dr. Veer Avanna, he's taken this as the base material, is working on a slightly different alloy using zinc instead of copper. He is saying this class of material is very promising and it could really lead on to something very big. So, although we cannot for sure say that superconductivity at room temperature has been cracked, you cannot also dismiss the claims of the Koreans, and nobody in the world has done it so far. For a material to be classified as superconducting, it is not enough if it lets current pass through it without offering any resistance. It needs to have one more property called diamagnetism. Diamagnetism simply means that if you have a superconducting material and you pass current through it and you place a magnet on top of it, the magnet should levitate, should not sit on that material. This diamagnetism essentially means an ability to repel magnetic force. Superconducting material should also have the property of diamagnetism. This apparently even the Koreans did not get. However, the world's scientific community is still very hopeful. This is probably the closest LK-99 has brought room temperature superconductivity tantalizingly close to our grasp. Yes, you should get excited about this for the simple reason that the entire scientific world, all the scientists have gotten excited about it, and those who are not are still getting excited about it. They are all saying there is something in this, let's take a closer look. So, LK-99 is the buzzword in the scientific community today. Remember it.